Good morning. So today I'm going to do a couple different videos, but right now we are making discard sandwich loaf. And you guys, seriously, this loaf turns out looking like regular bread loaf, but bigger and kind of on steroids. I'm sorry, this is just ridiculous. I have cinematic difficulties. There we go. Okay. So I'm propping my phone up with Bang Bang sauce. Who knew? Okay, so first of all, we're going to use discard. I have a lot of discard because I've been saving it to make, because I make 2 loaves at a time. And it's really easy. So you get your little scale, and here's my mixer bowl. So I'm just going to put it on there. And then, I'm so sorry, you guys. I have the sniffles today. I'm going to get, here's a thing of discard, and just stir it around. It's got a little hooch on top, which is fine. It's expected to because it hasn't been fed. That's what discard is unfed starter. So it's just basically starter that's inactive. So you're going to put 100 grams of discard or unfed sourdough starter. So I'm measuring it out right now, right into the bowl. I know this is rather exciting, just taking a look at my hand. Okay. Come on, baby. 1 more ounce. There we go. 100 ounces. Or 100 grams. So, looks about. Okay. Then we're going to add in, tear it out. There we go. Then we're going to add in 100 grams of water. And I don't have water. Normally, I keep it on the kitchen, so it's room temperature. I mean on the counter, so it's room temperature, and so it allows the chlorine to dissipate. But this time I'm not, and it's not going to make a huge difference, really. So we need 250 grams of water for the sourdough discard. This is only for the discard sandwich loaf. We're just going to pour it right in on top of the starter. Okay, and I slow down when I get to about 225. Because, you know, I don't want to go over and have to dig it out. That's kind of weird. Oh, I'm 1 gram away. Let's see if I can do it. Exact. And then let's get everything out of the way. So for this first step, so you can see, here we go, just water and starter. Okay, then tear it out, and you're going to put in 500 grams of flour. It's a lot. So what I do, sorry, baby locks are on the cabinet. I have, I'm gonna unlock that baby cabinet for now. I have this that, as you can see, this is my flour container. It doesn't, nothing else but flour goes in here. And I'm gonna put it, and I know about how much, so I just kind of pour until I get close. So, yep, I'm 480. Okay, so you guys, we have, there we go, 500. There you go, guys, 500 grams. Oh, that's what 500 grams of flour look like. That's a lot of flour. Okay? So then, oh, and now I have starter all over my hand. You're gonna get a fork. Okay, and that's all we're adding at the moment, okay? And then you're just gonna mix the starter and the water up. Okay? Just mix it up so it's just kind of soupy. Then you're gonna pour gently. Okay, Then we're going over here. You're probably just going to see my back, which won't be exciting in the least. But I have my beautiful KitchenAid. My Black Betty is what her name is because, well, she's black. And her name's Betty from Betty Crocker. You know how it goes. So I'm just going to put on, as you can see, I'm using the dough hook, okay? You don't want to use anything. The paddle will mix it too much. So you're just going to put it on at the first level, okay? Just at the first level. And then we're going to get it to a shaggy dough ball. There is no, for this one, there's no rolling, there's nothing. It's so easy. And you're just going to kind of watch it. It only takes just a few seconds to mix it up. Because you don't want it super mixed, you just want it kind of mixed. So I'm just waiting. And then today I'm also going to show you, I'm going to make this afternoon a chocolate chip sourdough loaf. But this is the bread I wanted to show you. This is the bread flour I use. Okay? Bob's Red Mill Artisan Bread. Okay? So I think this is done because I can hear it shaking the machine. Yep. So, scrape it off the hook, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay. See? It's just kind of crumbly and shaggy. Okay? Then you're going to hide it for 30 minutes. I mean, literally, that's that's what you're going to do. So you're going to let it rest. Let me set my Alexa. Alexa, set a timer for 30 minutes.
30 minutes, starting now.
Thank you. Oh, I always say thank you to Alexa, just in case she revolts and, you know, comes alive. I want to make sure she knows I've been pleasant to her. So what we're going to do is after, let's measure it now, which is what I usually do. Get a small bowl. Okay, I just have a small plasticky. And in it, you're going to put 20 grams of sugar. Come on. There it is. Okay, 20 grams of sugar and 10 grams of salt. I know I left it open. Okay. Then so for the discard loaf only, you're going to use quick rise yeast, okay? Only for the bread dough, not the sourdough loaf itself, just for this discard sandwich bread. But you're going to see it looks like regular sandwich bread. So you need 7 grams of quick rise yeast. Come on. Okay, there we go. Oh, I'm almost out of it. Okay. So, all mixed up. Okay, and then, I'm not going to add it right now, but I'm also going to add 40 grams of organic honey. And it tastes so good. So what you're going to do is after the 30 minutes is up, it's just resting right now. And I always put the cover back over it just to keep any draft, bugs, whatever, and to keep it warm. But after the 30 minutes is up, I'm going to add this, and I'm going to add 60 grams, which is about half a cube, of softened butter, not liquid. I mean, liquid's fine, but softened butter. I just soften it in the microwave a little bit. And so we're going to add that and mix it around. Sorry, I had an itch. So between 3 and 6 minutes, you want it to be a beautiful, nice dough, okay? And then I'm going to put it in a Tupperware bowl in my oven with the light on to rise. And because of the yeast, it's going to rise fairly quickly. And it does, in my oven with the light on, it rises in about 2 hours. Sometimes 4, but it's pretty quick to rise. And it will rise. It gets large. And then you punch it down a little bit, just gently, and you're going to I butter and then put flour in a bread tin. Okay, in a bread tin. And actually, that's not the one I use. It's hiding in another location. But and then so you put the dough in there and you put it back in the fridge or back in the oven with no temperature, just a light on, for about an hour, and it's going to come way up. You want it to come up over the rim of the pan. It's just going to go straight up, and it becomes quite a large loaf. So here's part of one. You can see here's my hand. It's a good sized bread loaf, and this is actually a small one. This is a half loaf, so it's not as big and tall as normal. I'm out of the normal loaf, but oh no, I'm not here. So you can see the size of the bread. It's quite large, and we slice it nice and thin, and it is the most delicious bread. Now, my son does not like sourdough, but this doesn't taste like sourdough because I add the sugar and because we add the yeast. It kills that sour flavor. Plus, we're not, sorry about that, plus we are not cold proofing it in the fridge. And the cold proofing, the longer you cold proof it, anywhere between 12 and 36 hours, the more sour the flavor, okay? Because it has time to deactivate, the starter deactivates. So, and it builds that, it removes that, the flavor of the wild yeast and makes it more sour. At least that's what I read. So, that's the discard bread. We make that for his lunches because, you guys, seriously, that container of Bob's flour is $6.08, and I can make 7 loaves off of 7 sourdough loaves, which is at least 7 loaves of discard. So that's $1 a loaf or less, when we pay $3 or $4 or more a loaf at the grocery store. And it's not nearly as fresh because you make it yourself. Plus, you guys, there's no preservatives. And it's really not that difficult. You can see all I'm doing is just letting the mixer do the work. It just requires patience. That's it. But you guys, seriously, this sandwich loaf, I will put it in the comments below so you can, so you can grab the recipe. But it is, and I always have to look, I have a cheat sheet. Okay, and it is 100 grams of sourdough discard, 250 grams of water, 500 grams of bread flour, 10 grams of salt, 20 grams of sugar, 60 grams of butter at room temperature, 7 grams of instant yeast, and 40 grams of honey. Okay, that's what is in this loaf. Okay, and I've changed the recipe. I add the 40 grams of honey. My son likes it much better. You can't really taste it, but the bread tastes better, if that makes any difference, and it's softer. So there's a lot of steps to it. There's 2 pages. So I might actually just take a picture. We'll see. But I'll get the instructions because it's a really good discard loaf. I really like it. My family really likes it. So I will get that in the comments for you. So what I'm going to do next, like I said, is we're going to let it sit for 30 minutes. Then we're going to add the butter and our little dry mix here. And we're going to mix it around for 3 to 6 minutes till we get that silky, put together bread loaf. Okay? Then we're going to after the 3 to 6 minutes, we're going to put it in the bread pans. I'm sorry, we're going to put it in the bowl and let it double in the oven for, no temperature. Then after it rises, you're going to take it out. You're going to knead it down a little bit, put it into the bread tins, let it rise again for about an hour, and then you're just going to bake it for 35 to 40 minutes on 350 degrees. And that's it. Literally, it's super, super simple. So I'll type these in the comments, but the next time you see me, I will show you, this will be a part 2. I will show you different pictures. I'll take pictures along the way and put them in the comments as well, but I'll show you the bread that comes out of the oven. But then we're also going to do a chocolate chip sourdough loaf this afternoon. So I'll show you the directions for that, and it's delicious. And I've had a request from a friend. I'm going to do a lemon blueberry loaf. I don't know if that'll be today or tomorrow, but of course, I'll show you. And Jerry, your starter that you guys started, is happily sitting in my warming box. So he's doing great. So thank you for joining, and I will show pictures along the way. Have a great day.